Today we're working on some papers called like terms equations. We're putting together two of our recent ideas. So the first week worth of ideas was that the equations were like a scale. Whatever we did to one side, we did to the other. We did the opposites. We checked a lot of things. Then yesterday we got into like terms. Like terms are problems where you have the exact same variable, and what we worked on was combining those by using the adding rules. So what we're going to do today is both of those things. We're going to worry about the like terms first, and then we'll worry about our opposites. So for a problem like this, these are like terms because they both have x's. We can add these coefficients. Coefficients are the numbers in front. So there's a positive 2, there's a positive 3. We add that up, that will be positive 5x. We'll copy the equals, we'll copy the 25. And then we'll look to do our opposites. Since this is multiplying 5, we're going to look to divide by 5s, eliminate the 5s. The variable is now alone, which is always our goal. 25 dividing 5 is 5. If it's a whole number, let's check it. 2 times 5 is 10, 3 times 5 is 15. Add that up, that is 25. These are again like terms. Positive 3, positive 4 makes positive 7. Keep the x, keep the equals, keep the 28, and I'm going to come back there in a minute. Here I'm going to combine these. Negative 6 and negative 2 makes negative 8. Keep the x, keep the equals, 32. I'll be back there in a minute. If you think you get what I'm doing, you could do the next couple, just that little beginning step, and pause the video and check and see if you're doing it right. This I have a positive 2 and negative 7. When I add with a negative and a positive, it depends on the bigger, which is negative. I'd subtract to get 5. Keep the x, keep the equals, keep the negative 35. And all of these are only half done. I'm going to come back and do the other half in a minute. Here I put the x's on the right, but it's still the same thing. Keep the 32 and the equals. Negative 2 adding negative 2 is negative 4, and just keep the x with them to be like terms. Positive 3, positive 4 is positive 7. Keep the x, keep the equals, keep the 29. For this, if I add these, it's a negative 6, it's a positive 8, so it depends on the bigger, which is positive. We subtract to get 2. Keep the x and the equals and the 17. This, we keep the 41 and the equals and the x. Just look to add negative 2 with positive 7. When you add when they're different, it depends on the bigger one, and we subtract. And I'm not going to take that one on because that one's going to be a little different. All of these are only halfway done, but the first half of the problem is to combine the like terms. Now that we've done that, we'll finish it the way we finished the first one. We'll look to do our opposites now that we've combined our like terms. Since 7 is multiplying, I'll divide 7s, eliminating the 7s so that the variable is alone. 28 dividing 7 is 4, and we can check that. 3 times 4 is 12, 4 times 4 is 16, 12 plus 16 is 28, that works. Here we divide, remembering that the negative and the 8 are stuck together as a team. The negative 8s travel together for us to eliminate those negative 8s. The variable would equal negative 4. Checking, negative 6 times negative 4 is 24. Negative 2 times negative 4 is 8. 24 and 8 is 32. That's a win. Division here with negative 5s. Dividing gets me a 7. Putting it in, 14 minus 49 does make that, and we're good. Here I would divide with negative 4s to eliminate those negative 4s. Variable alone would equal negative 8. Putting negative 8 times negative 2 is 16. 16 and another 16 is 32. Here when we divide by 7s to eliminate the 7s and get the variable alone, 7 won't evenly go into 29. It goes in 4, but 1 left over. Leave 7 on the bottom, we won't check any fractions. Divide by 2s to eliminate 2s. 2 into 17 is 8, with 1 left over. Leave the bottom alone. Here we would divide by 5s to eliminate 5s to get the variable alone. 5 into 41 is 8 with 1 left over. Keep the bottom the same. This one I didn't do at first because it's a little bit bigger because there's 4 numbers instead of 3. If you look through the rest of the board, the rest of the notes paper, you can see there's 4 numbers instead of 3, so it's going to take us one more step to do these next few. So I'll just do the like term step first. So here, those are like, so I'm going to copy 2x, create a 7 from adding 2 positive numbers together, and we equal 11, and I'll need to come back here. Here, those are like, negative 3, positive 5 makes positive 2, but I copy the rest. Here, these are like, that would be negative 1x, but I copy the rest. Here, these are like, that's a 1x, and I copy the rest. Here, these are like, that's negative 5x. And I copy the rest. Those are like to be negative 7x, and I copy everything else. Those are like, that's negative 4x, and I copy the rest. That's the first move, is combine like terms, copy all the rest. Now we're going to have 2 opposites to do. Whenever we have 2 opposites to do, we always do the adding or subtracting first, even though that's not what the order of operations usually says, but that is also opposite as well. So we look to subtract 7 to get rid of 7s, and if we do that on one side of the equals, we'll do that to the number on the other side of the equals, and that makes a 4, just dropping the 2x. The 2 is multiplying, so we'll do the opposite. We'll divide by 2's, and that would get us x equaling 2. And we can check that. 2 times 2 is 4. Adding 3 is 7. Adding 4 more is 11. Anything that's a whole number, we'll check it, and it should work. This, to get rid of add 8, we'll subtract 8, and that will also change the other number. We get 22. Since 2 is multiplying, we'll divide by 2 to get rid of 2's and get an 11. Negative 3 times 11 is negative 33. 5 times 11 is 55. 55 and negative 33 is 22. Adding 8 is 30, that works. Here we look to subtract 2's to get rid of the add 2's. So negative 1x. Negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. Divide by negative 1's to get rid of that. X alone would equal 6. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 2 is 32. 6 times 6 is 36. 32 minus 36 is negative 4. This we'd subtract 3, so we get 1x, eliminate the 3's equals 7. And then I just erase the 1. The 1 is there, whether it's visible or invisible. Quickest way to get the variable alone is just erase the 1, I think. So 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 7 is 49. 56 minus 49 is 7. Adding 3 is 10. That works. Here I'd add 2 to get rid of the subtract 2. Negative 5x is still around. Adding those is negative 29. And then we'll finish by dividing every time. Eliminating those negative 5's. Negative dividing negative is positive. 5 into 29 is 5. Remainder of 4. Leave the 5 on the bottom. Don't check any fraction ones. Subtract 7 to eliminate to add 7. Gets us 22. Divide by negative 7's to eliminate the 7's. Variable alone. 1 of each makes a negative. 7 into that is 3 with 1 left over. Keep 7 on the bottom. For the last one, get rid of the subtract 11 by add 11. So it's 43. Get rid of the multiplying by dividing with negative 4. 1 of each dividing is negative. 4 into 43 is 10. Remainder would be 3. Leave the 4 on the bottom. If you need some help, send me an email. See ya.